This is gonna be fun. Hey, real estate rock stars. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Your host, Hannah, or maybe not, because today's session will be actually fun, hopefully for you and for me as well, because I am gonna be on a spotlight, and our coach, Mike Cribben, will be questioning me regarding home staging. So before I will let him start, even say hi to you, I would just like to share with you that I have been in a home staging business for more than 14 years. I own two home staging businesses. In case you want to Google me, go for it. The first one is called Euro Staging. And the second one, it's called Masterpiece Staging and Design. Both of my businesses are based in Virginia, and we are servicing Northern Virginia, Maryland, and DC. So I think that's good enough information to start with. So now I am passing the mic to Mike because he might have some questions.
Yes,
Go
the
for it.
first question I have is if you're also servicing DC, did you stage the White House?
Oh, I wish. I've staged a lot of White Houses, but not that
Oh,
one.
okay, that'll work. But you know what? It's funny how home staging and real estate go hand in hand because putting you on the hot seat isn't really the hot seat because realtors, we hand things off.
Yeah.
And I hand off staging. Many times I tell my clients that they need to stage their home. And they say, nope, not doing it. Don't want to pay the price, don't want the expense, don't, no. So, with that, the question I have is how do I overcome that
Uh-huh.
right off the bat?
I love it. We're starting immediately with objections.
Yep.
So, there are several ways. Um, Number one, I would say a qualified good home stager can help you handle objections during staging consultation. So I would ask the agents, let me be the bad guy and sell without selling on the importance of home staging. And as I walk the house with the homeowners, I have certain ways to make them agree with me that the home staging is essential. You know, everyone is watching HGTV, or I don't know, maybe 90% of people, they will know what means HGTV and how people want to fall in love with the home they're buying. Everyone, it has become almost a common knowledge that you have to clean up your home before you are selling it. Just like with the car, wouldn't you clean up your car before selling it, pick up all the trash, make it clean from inside outside? That's very similar to home selling, just different size and money involved. So there are ways to help the homeowner to understand, reinforce, and agree that home staging is very important, is essential. And there are certain levels as well, right? Not everything is always vacant property. Not everything is new construction. And not every home needs very high-end staging.
Now, when you stage, do you sometimes use the client's furniture or is it always your furniture?
Great question. So I hope that I helped with some of the objection regarding do we need to stage. When it comes to staging, there are several levels, I would say. So there is occupied home staging, where we work purely with whatever is in the house. Then there is hybrid home staging. I call it hybrid. When, let's say, the homeowners don't have any furniture in a basement and you really want to highlight the basement, or their dining room is so dated that it really needs to be out and they are not even using it. They don't even want to keep it for their new home. So it can be donated and we can stage that one particular room, bring our inventory, and then make sure that the rest of the house is cohesive. And then you have a vacant home staging, where we always recommend to stage basically the heart of the home, That would be living room, dining, kitchen, and a main bedroom. And then any other area you want to highlight, it might be office, it might be outdoor area or front porch. It just depends.
Now, when you are staging the home
Yeah.
and you're using your furniture, where do the homeowners put their furniture? Do they store it in the garage, or do they store it in the basement, or do they get a pod? What do they do?
So that needs to be a part of the conversation because every home is different. Every buyer's home seller situation is different. Sometimes they have a empty garage where everything can be stored. Sometimes we recommend them to get pod. Sometimes they want to donate the unwanted stuff. So as I communicate with them and the agent, we try to figure out what is the best way for their particular situation. So it's as easy as possible because the road to sell a home is difficult. We know it. It's painful. Nobody likes to move. Nobody likes to pack, but it needs to be done in order to get as much money as possible.
Now that you mention money, let's talk. My I'm staging a home, or I'm selling a home, and I suggest they need staging, and the seller says, "Oh no, I can't afford that."
Uh-huh.
What is your comeback?
Okay. So I would look at it from Maverick perspective. Let's figure out how it can be done instead of no, we can't do it. Um, if we can use what they have, fantastic. I can even give them a list, and I've done it in the past, that let's say the bones of the home are good, that the sofa looks okay, coffee table is good. Maybe there is missing some accent pillows or area rack. So that's something what I can tell them. If my company has to bring it and I need to hire movers and I need to have stagers and I need to rent you the inventory and it needs to stay clean. Versa, what if you will buy it on Amazon, have it delivered, and then you can set it up yourself? I'll tell you what you need where. I'll give you a shopping list. And then at the end, we can FaceTime. So that would be the most inexpensive way to approach it, if at least there is some furniture we can work with. What do you think about that? Is that a good solution? Can we do it? Let's do it.
Yeah, tell
You
me,
just need to make them
but
agree.
but am I am I really going to get more money for my house? Am I going to get enough money from by staging my house? Am I going to get enough additional money to pay for the staging?
Okay, so that is really good question. Maybe I will back a little because when we talk with home sellers, we start looking at what needs to be fixed in the house. And I would say that overrides staging. So if the home needs painting, a new carpet, if it needs a new light fixtures, I would always vote for these three updates over staging. Because
Um,
when you really add a value, that's the best ROI. And then again, okay, it just evolves. Where is the property based? If we have some cute row house in Georgetown, oh my gosh, you have to stage. Do you understand that it really depends? There are so many variables.
okay. With your staging company, if I stage my house and I use you and I have a room that you say needs to be painted, do you have a painter that could come in and paint it before you stage it?
Great question. I rather give a space to realtors to recommend their contractors because contractors just like me, they are very much zip code based, I think. So there are companies who work only DC in my area. There are companies who prefer to work only Virginia because there is, some insurance involved as well, I think. So I would rather pass that question on a realtor. If the realtor does not know, then I would ask around and
Okay.
try to help. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now then, your furniture, if somebody rents from you, oops, we spilt grape juice on the rug and we spilt wine on the white sofa.
Okay. That's a problem because the furniture we mainly stage vacant homes. And if I cannot use it, nobody wants me to bring a sofa with a wine stain. So that is a big problem there. We ask them to clean it. If they cannot clean it, we can try to clean it. And if it's unusable, they can keep the sofa, but I will need a replacement in a form of money. And
Uh,
I think that's only fair, you know.
is there an insurance policy I could buy to cover somebody breaking in and stealing the furniture or damaging it?
Yes, yes. So both of my companies are obviously insured, but there is also an umbrella insurance, and I can't recall it from top of my head, and that can protect inventory in a not safe area, which still some parts of DC are like, okay, I'm not stopping, I'm not slowing down. Or it can be a rural area, or if there are no neighbors in a surrounding houses, the inventory is expensive, and it needs
Mhm.
to last certain time. It needs to generate the money to pay for itself. So there is an extra way how it can be protected. And also homeowners, if they are not living in a house, or even if they are living, I believe that they can include our inventory into their insurance.
Okay, yeah, that's a good answer because I'm thinking, you know what? It's going to be rainy and snowy and it could be muddy and people traipsing through the house could make a mess.
Yeah. And
Sometimes kids come in with food.
yeah, yeah. And just to tell you, like there is certain wear and tear, especially on carpets, or if we are using light color furniture, so it can happen. But if that would be like obvious mishandling of our inventory, and we educate our clients, like if we are gonna bring the furniture, it is no sit, no touch policy. And then we do make an exception if the house has, let's say, several animals, we really cannot help them. Or, okay, we would help them, but it would be our inventory, which is almost on the way out, like ready for donation. So we try to do as best as we can with whatever the situation is. But I can tell stories too. I had an unfriendly, unhappy teenager, and when his parents, who were going through divorce, when they were selling a house, well, he was not a teenager. I think he was like in his early 20s. He actually lived in the house and let all the animals, including bunnies, to run around. And he would use our sofa cushions to make a ramp for the animals. Well, that was a disaster. That was like I was heartbroken because that was just a little too much.
So
Or
what you were saying was if they have too many animals, you're not going to be able to help them.
I will
What
def
if their kids are just like animals?
well, this situation has taught us that we need to over communicate, just like you in a real estate. We need to over communicate that if we are bringing in brand new inventory, they will sign a piece of paper which says if the furniture is stained, they can keep it, and we will tell them what's the replacement cost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that only makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, so
Yeah.
what you're telling me is your two businesses are beneficial to the real estate industry.
Oh, big time. Come on, we are selling the dreams.
Ah, okay.
We
Okay.
can help you to get better visibility, bigger traffic, and more offers. If the staging is done right, oof, it's very powerful marketing. But you know that.
Yes. Are there any certifications that you should look for when you're looking for a stager?
I would say yes. because education is important. In our industry is still so very new that we don't have any regulations, but I would look for certifications for past experience, anything visual, right? What were the last couple properties the company has staged,
Mhm.
and then would absolutely want to see a proof of insurance. Yeah,
Okay,
that's important, right? Because when you think about it, we get into people's homes. You
yes.
want to make sure that if you recommend a stager, you know, if something goes bad, the agent will look at you, not the agent, the homeowner will look at you and blame you for it, you know. So it is very
Oh,
important to
yeah.
be selective and work with the best people you can. Just like with realtors, contractors, inspectors, right? You only
Mm-hmm.
want the best.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and I want you to tell me why I should use a stager.
Hotspot. I already told you, but I would like to remind everyone that home staging is visual marketing and can bring you bigger traffic, bigger visibility, and bigger offers if it's done right. And you always want to look better than your competition, right?
Most definitely. Most definitely. That's why, well, yes, you should always stage unless the house is going to sell before you put it on the market.
True. Absolutely. And if the
Yes.
market is shifting as it is right now, staging will become even more important than a couple years ago. So find your favorite stager or two, because some of them are smaller companies and they might not accommodate the volume. And get educated, ask a lot of questions, take them out for a cup of coffee, go see a property they staged. So you have your best one in your pocket when you go into the listing presentation. Yeah, I think that was good.
Fantastic.
Are we done? Did I pass?
You've almost passed. There's one more question I have to ask you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, bring it on.
All righty. I want to stage my house,
Mhm.
but I don't want your furniture.
Okay.
Do you do any staging virtually?
Great question. So, first of all, I can recommend you someone who does virtual home staging, but I would really warn you not to do it because it's deceiving. Buyers are very sensitive because they're buying emotions. They're buying a future happy holidays and Christmases and birthdays, Thanksgivings. And when they see beautifully staged home and they go visit the property and there is nothing, and even the walls are not being painted, they'll be very upset. So I would recommend virtual staging. Let's say, let's make a deal. We will stage with real furniture, the heart of the home. And I already told you that's a living, dining, main bedroom at minimum. Okay, let's do the bare minimum. And then if you want to do virtual staging of the patio, virtual staging of the office, I think that can be a good compromise. What do you think?
Okay, I think that's a pretty good answer. Yes,
And
ma'am.
that's how I try to help realtors and homeowners to understand and figure out a way how it can be done instead of getting the hard no. Let's figure out a way how to make a yes. Yeah.
I think that sounds good. Now then, I have some homes here that could use some staging. Are you open to coming to St. Louis and staging?
I would love to. It was even like a daydreaming that I can put some like a basic sets into a big truck and just drive across the USA and stage homes listings of my friends. Wouldn't that be fun? But it would have to, that would even make a fun reality show, you know.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
driving a truck on the road, staging homes across America. How many states can I do with whatever I have in a truck? Well, okay, maybe when I retire, I can do this big road trip. And then you
Yep.
will be first one on the list. I will call and I'll go like, hey, are you still in a business? I want to stage for you.
Well, I'll tell you what. My wife would love it if I took a video of the entire house and sent it to you, and you just tell her what we need to do.
I can help. I can help, but I think we'll just hop off the call and have a private conversation. And please, everyone who is listening and watching, don't get the same idea as Mike, okay? I only have 24 hours per day, but I love challenge. It just makes me happy when there is something new and something different. And that makes real estate fun game to be in, right? Don't you feel the same way?
Oh, yes, yes. Now, as we're wrapping up here, because we are a little over time,
Yeah.
but where do you see staging going in the future?
Ah, okay, let me get, do I have a, hold on. I'm a stager. Of course, I have a crystal ball.
Uh-huh.
Let me look in it. Okay. Oh my goodness, that's Bianca. Bianca is in the warehouse, guys. Okay, I hope you got used to her by now. However, I have a crystal ball, but it doesn't show me the future. So virtual reality is big. I am not afraid of it really because buying home is very physical. People want to see the street, they want to see the neighbors. However, when it comes to a new construction or condo living, that's very different. So I don't know. I would say that the staging will become even more important. I've
Mhm.
seen it when I went to Europe this past summer, that more homes are being staged even over there. And staging 10 years ago was unheard of. Like, you bring furniture into houses, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I do.
Uh-huh.
So I would like to say that it will become a standard, hopefully. And hopefully there will be
Price
more
of
and more
homes.
stagers.
Yeah, price of homes are going up like crazy.
Yeah.
So the higher the value of the home, the more essential it is that you stage it.
Yeah.
And I can see it becoming a reality, almost like you get an appraisal, you get an inspection,
Yeah.
you do a final walkthrough, you get a loan, you get all these things. I think before too long, staging could fall in that too, and it just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Who's your realtor? Who's your stager? Who's this? Yes.
I agree. And also there are statistics. Maybe for next call, I can pull out some statistics because there are numbers and numbers don't lie, right? So we can put it into a position how much value can add home staging into the bottom line. Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
would be great. Good
Okay.
selling point.
Let's
All
do
righty. Well, I'm going to take you off the hot seat now
it. Thank you.
and let you wrap it up.
Yeah, it's time to go. Well, Rockstars, thank you for watching or listening. If you would like to learn a little bit more about home staging, I am updating my program I've done, I think, a year ago. And I'm absolutely willing to sit on a hot seat again. And maybe we can talk about paint colors. We can talk about repairs. We can talk about even what light fixtures I like to recommend, like to give you some solid tips and tricks you can take and use with your listings, because obviously I cannot help you all, right? So let's spread the knowledge. Yes, Mike?
What's the number one paint color?
Oh my gosh.
Do you like brass or nickel or bronze? Uh oh, what kind of carpet do you like? Do you like I guess we gotta do this again.
Time to go. Time to go. Thank you
We
for
gotta do this again.
let's do this again. And I'm ready for more questions. Mike, thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.